So, have you ever had someone tell you something that was the exact opposite of common sense? And yet, it still made so much sense. So, this happened during COVID. It was in 2021. And we had been on lockdown for almost 2 years. And I was going crazy, right? No way to get out of this bubble. I felt like I had to shake my life up in some ways. And so I thought, why not go to the extreme? Do the exact opposite of social distancing and go find absolute strangers to talk to. So I bugged all of my friends, right? Like, hey, do you know someone I talk to that I really don't know? Maybe someone who's a bit interesting, a bit different. And yeah, I met a couple of folks, made a couple of contacts. It was a Saturday, and I managed to get up in the morning. And I was looking at the screen, Zoom was on, and there were two people in front of me. They were two founders of a mindfulness community. They were young, successful, and yet they took the time out of their careers, their jobs, to do this on the side. And so I asked them, what makes you want to do this? What makes you different? What makes you special? And then they said something that I will never forget. They said, you can do great things because you're not special. I'm like, what? Like, don't you need to be smarter, more hardworking, have thicker skin than the rest to be able to do something special? But then they explained, well, if you don't see yourself as special, then you'll have the humility to put others before yourself. And only when you can be devoted to something that's bigger than yourself, then you can do great things. And I was like, wow. Wow. And so, strangely, no matter who I spoke to, it was truth bomb after truth bomb. For example, to strangers, and especially to strangers, never pass up an opportunity to show love and kindness. Or, if you want to do something that feels pretty risky to you, go in with a half-baked plan and just figure it out along the way. Or, you know what the hardest thing is about wanting to do something challenging? The hardest thing is not the doing, but the hardest thing is the waiting. And all these folks that I've been speaking to, they don't think of themselves as special. They went to your local polytechnic. They live in your neighborhood. In fact, one of them actually turned out to literally be my neighbor, living 3 stories below. But what they have in common is that they are all walking a path of uncertainty, one of their own heart's desire. And as they pass each milestone on this path, whether it is doing and doing and doing without much to show for it, or whether it is finding themselves in a pretty sticky situation and getting showered unexpectedly with love from strangers. Through that lived experience, that's where their extraordinary wisdom comes from. And so what started out as an antidote to social distancing turned out to be something a little bit more for me. And so I've started a community called Stranger Conversations, where I'm gathering people who are curious about such strange stories or want to cheer on and support people who are walking such unlikely paths. or they themselves want to embark on a peculiar journey. Well, in fact, Anna was one of the guests on Stranger Conversations not too long ago, and thanks to her, I'm here today sharing my story as a milestone on my own strange journey. So thank you, Anna, and thank you, everyone.